TikTok compilation that might wake you up and change your reality. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
That is amazing, folks. I understand now the saying, soar like an eagle.
King Charles looks like he's burning in hell on a new official portrait.
They presented him with a painting of himself in hell.
That looks like a hell of a lot of bloodshed.
Why did they let him be made to look like Lucifer himself?
Some suggested that the king must have felt attacked after the infernal portrait reveal.
Oh, look at his face. That was his face when he saw the painting, like, oh boy.
Yeah, I would feel very attacked by that portrait as well. That's a statement.
The butterfly on the monarch's shoulder sparked various interpretations as well.
And then they threw in a little butterfly, you know, for a sign of life. Something cute.
A symbol of the king's focus on climate and quote-unquote green issues.
The butterfly above his shoulder is symbolic for something, but I cannot remember.
It is the first portrait. It's called the Portrait of the King. First portrait since he was coronated. And he is the main heir to Vlad the Impaler. You can't make that up. And there are demon faces all over it when you just look at it straight on. But when you take the painting and duplicate it or put it upside down, Charles forms the giant face, and his head are the eyes of a huge Baphomet. You can say, oh, this is an isolated incident. No, you see the Rothschild and Rockefeller art displays they put on, or you see, time and time again the type of art they're funding, and almost all the time it's degenerate or satanic. You got the Lord Rothschild that just died a few months ago with Abrina Abramovich, the high priestess of Aleister Crowleyism. And there they are in front of a giant painting of Lucifer summoning his legions. It was the first portrait.
Good. Yep, I can see it.
So I saw this online, and before I posted it, I wanted to check if it was right. So I cropped in half one of the pictures of King Charles, and I mirrored it, and then I cropped it again. So I have two of the same picture. Now I am taking it in on the right-hand side in order to make one of them smaller. Now I'm going to turn it upside down. I find Instagram really easy to mess around and spin pictures around. Now I'm going to get the other version that I took the right hand side off and match them up together.
Wow.
Take a look at that. That's why I had bad vibes about this picture. As soon as I saw it in the red, and it just seemed a little demonic to me, but there you go.
The whole theme of this painting is hellish. Like it's in your face. Someone is involved with that.
In UFO news, the Vatican is set to hold a groundbreaking press conference this Friday, May 17th at noon to address supernatural phenomena, including potential encounters with aliens. The event will feature prominent members of the Vatican's Doctrine of the Faith and International Observatory for Marian Apparitions. It aims to present new guidelines for discerning supernatural occurrences. This marks the first such conference since 1978. Perhaps prompted by a recent rise in media reports on aliens and mystical phenomena, the Vatican will outline how it plans to handle these types of encounters. While not specifically addressing UFOs, many, including Congress Representative Tim Burchett and theologians, suggest that aliens and angels could be viewed as one and the same. The term interdimensional beings has been used quite widely lately. This is all very interesting. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and the Vatican will address its alleged involvement of the recovery of a UFO in the 1930s. No matter what, it is quite curious that the Vatican is holding this type of press conference and using the word alien in its description. Do you believe?
They know the truth is coming, and they are debating on how much longer they can keep the lie alive and at what cost, because allegedly the Vatican has been involved in the UFO or alien phenomena for quite a long time.
Vatican is set to release this document tomorrow that talks about supernatural phenomenon, UFOs, and how angels are actually demons. A lot of people don't realize how dark the Vatican is and the secrets that they hold in the archives alone. I've done an entire series over secrets of the Vatican, but let's get into this document and I'm going to tell you what I think they're trying to hide. I'm going to go over the article that they want you to believe that came out yesterday, and it says the Vatican will offer guidance Friday regarding supernatural phenomena and other apparitions, presenting new provisions of the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith. As described in the Encyclopedia of the Bible, an apparition refers to appearance of a spiritual or supernatural visitor, most likely with instances involving a divine entity such as Virgin Mary or a saint. So do you guys remember how a couple months ago they were telling you that this demon face syndrome was supposed to come out? The guidelines were like, if you saw demons, report it. You could be going through like a psychiatric break. And now here we are, the Vatican is basically giving clearance to say, you saw a demon, you didn't see a demon. Lock her away forever. Let's give her an exorcism, basically. But I think it's very weird that they talk about the supernatural phenomenon and as a result to Virgin Mary or a saint. Because you know what else references the Virgin Mary or the saint at the Vatican that no one knows about? The 3 secrets of Fatima. These are the 3 sisters that were blessed with the 3 secrets of our Virgin Mary. In 1917, over the course of 6 months, these 3 girls were giving 3 different secrets about the Virgin Mary that was given to them by an apparition. They said that the Virgin Mary was this apparition that appeared to them and told them 3 secrets of what would happen over the course of history. They kept these secrets for 23 years until the bishop ordered them to tell them what the secrets were. And specifically, the 3rd secret was kept the longest. The bishop ordered Lucia, who had the 3rd secret, under holy obedience to do so, and she wrote out the secret and placed it in a sealed envelope that was not to be opened for 19 years, or 1960, when she said it would be clearer to understand. So the envelope was opened in 1960, but the secret was not made public until the 2000s when the Vatican released the text that Lucia had written. People say that what Lucia described was the date and the time that the apocalypse would start. She wrote out that she saw an angel with a flaming sword in his left hand flashing, and it gave out flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire. It was said that it gave out the flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire, but they died out in contact with the splendor that Our Lady, who was the Virgin Mary, radiated towards him from her right hand. Pointing to the earth with his right hand, the angel cried out in a loud voice, penance, penance, penance. And we saw in an immense light that God, something similar to how people would appear in a mirror when they passed in front of it. A bishop dressed in white, we had the impression that it was the Holy Father, bishops, and the priests. And I could go on reading it, but it would literally take me forever. But I just find it very weird that it specifically says in this new thing or document that's supposed to come out tomorrow, May 17th, by the Vatican, the same people who hold the secret, and they know what day the secret is supposed to happen, coming out saying that if you see the Virgin Mary or any apparition, we on your tail. And then on top of that, they also talk about how they believe that in this document, it will relay that angels are actually UFOs and that some angels or UFOs are really demons. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a part 2 because we're at 3 minutes, but yeah, I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, go watch my pinned videos. The Vatican is full of lies.
God is with us. Do not be afraid, brothers and sisters. The Lord is with us. This one of the beach club in Bali. It looks super expensive, but it's not, and everyone can come.
YouTuber, let's call him Hellcat. Now Hellcat has a big problem. The FBI just busted into his house, and now they're taking away his Power Rangers themed Lamborghini. And this all started when one day Hellcat gets a big idea. His big idea is basically to put pirated media on Fire Sticks and then resell those Fire Sticks online. So Hellcat does this, and it works really well. Like, he sells thousands of them.
I became a millionaire after a year.
But then, after a period of time, he gets worried about the legal issues dealing with pirated media.
If it's potentially land me in jail, I'm not doing it.
So he stops. Now he's got to come up with another big idea. Then, boom, he does. Now he wants to make an app that would allow you to stream cable TV channels from all over the world. So he makes this app, calls it Gears TV, and this app blows the hell up. Pretty quickly, he's got over 100,000 paying subscribers, making him over $400,000 a week. And of course, now that Hellcat is making money, he's got to show it off. So he starts vlogging his big lifestyle on YouTube, flexing all his jewelry, pictures of him just holding cash. Dude has multiple houses, a bunch of luxury cars, and of course, a Power Rangers themed Lamborghini. And by flexing his wealth in his vlogs, Hellcat builds up a nice following on YouTube, about 800,000 people. And the Gears TV app is doing so well that after a while, he sells it to a private investment company for $40 million. So his big idea worked, but it's not over. Then he builds a new app called Reloaded TV, and it's like Gears TV, but better. And it does great, and he starts making big money again, and his vlogs are popping off on YouTube. Everybody loves watching Hellcat. Until, you know who else loves watching Hellcat?
The
FBI. Because one day, boom, they suddenly pull up to one of his houses, and they start beating on his door, and they come inside and they confiscate all his stuff. Cameras, TVs, laptops, cell phones, his jewelry, any loose cash he had laying around. And according to this case file, they took 58 vehicles and 21 properties. So they towed all of his luxury cars away, and even his Power Rangers Lamborghini. Aww. Meanwhile, his fans on YouTube hear about this, and they're like, what the f***? Now, Hellcat continues to vlog after his stuff is taken, and he tells his fans he got raided for tax evasion. But that doesn't stop him, because over the next year, he keeps vlogging and he keeps talking to his audience. And he dedicates himself to making more money and rebuilding his car collection. And as he's rebuilding that car collection, kapow! The FBI shows up at his door again, and they raid his house a second time. And yes, it's because of tax evasion, but that's only a small part of it. See, Hellcat's apps, which made him all that big Power Ranger Lamborghini money, they're essentially just pirating cable TV and reselling it. So he would subscribe to HBO like once, and then he would resell access to that broadcast to like hundreds of thousands of people, which is super illegal, but he seems to have thought that he found some kind of copyright loophole.
I just feel like, I found a loophole. I ran through it and I did great.
Here's the thing though. There was no loophole. So he gets arrested and he's sentenced to 5.5 years in prison and a $30 million fine, which is one of the largest fines in any copyright case in history. Also, his main house is in Swedesboro, New Jersey, so shout out to New Jersey.
So he snitched on himself, and no one noticed that Gears TV is based off of the video game franchise, and he got $30 million fine, but made $40 million in the selling of the app alone.
There's a new update to the earwig laundry pincher bug pandemic. The fact that there's up to 11 million deaths in the last 7 hours. It turns out that the earwigs were not the problem. It's these. These are in your laundry. They've been entering people's mouths and noses, and specifically the ears, which is why they thought it was the earwigs, also known as pincher bugs. Been found recently that they're going into other holes. Yes, other holes. They like to hide in the wrinkles of unfolded laundry on the floor, on the bed, on the couch, and pretty much anywhere. They don't like being exposed to the light. People drinking lots of water haven't had as many issues. So if you drink your water and fold your laundry, it should keep them away. What's that? 15 million deaths.
We have a lot of those here in Indonesia. We also have flying spider. I think he's trying to scare us into folding our laundry. What do you think? Wow. In an instant, our lives can change. I hope she is okay. Her angels were definitely riding along.
Israel's most famous rabbi shocked the world after revealing that the Messiah is Jesus Christ. Yitzhak Kaduri was one of the most respected rabbis within the Jewish community for his wisdom on the Torah as well as his knowledge for the occultic practice known as the Kabbalah. Before he passed away in 2006, he wrote a note and instructed people not to open it until a year after his passing. This note contained the name of the Messiah, which he claimed God revealed to him in a vision a year prior. When this note was finally opened, it shocked many around the world. When referring to the Messiah, he wrote, "He will raise the people Bible and confirm that his word and law are standing. The rabbi wrote this specifically due to the letter being an acrostic, which is a well-known Kabbalistic coding where the first letter of every word spells out a hidden message. Rabbi Kaduri's acrostic letter spelled the name Yehoshua, which is the Hebrew name for Jesus. When the Jewish scholars decoded the acrostic message in the letter, it sparked massive controversy because they knew he was revealing that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Soon, many of Kaduri's Orthodox Jewish disciples converted to Christianity and started doing deep studies on the New Testament. However, other Jews were deeply upset about this note that he left, and soon removed the note off of the website that they built for him in an attempt to suppress this news so other Jews would not seek Jesus.
Even those that deny him cannot ignore his light. Jesus is the Messiah and God. Every knee shall bow and tongue shall confess.
You there, second desk, blue jacket. What is your name?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis, please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
I don't understand.
I am not going to ask a second time. Thank you. Why are there laws? What are laws for? Anyone?
Social order?
To protect the person's personal rights. So that you can rely on the government?
Justice? Thank you. Tell me, was I unfair to your classmate just now? Indeed I was. So, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try and stop me? Why didn't you want to prevent this injustice? You see, what you have just learnt, you wouldn't have understood in 1,000 hours of lectures unless you lived it. You didn't say anything because you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you and against life. You think it doesn't concern you, so it's none of your business. Well, I'm here to say, if you don't help bring about justice, then one day you too may experience injustice, and there will be nobody there to stand before you. Truth and justice lives through us all, and we must fight for it. Because in life and work, I mean, we often live next to each other, but not with each other. We console ourselves that the problems of others are nothing to do with us, none of our business. And we go home glad at night that we're spared, but it's about standing up for each other. Every day an injustice happens in business, sport, or on the tram. Relying on someone else to take care of it is not good enough. It is our duty to be there for others, to speak up for others when they cannot. I am here to teach you the power of your voice. I want you to learn critical thinking to empower you to stand up for what is right, even if it means going against what everyone else is doing. Let's begin.
Right. In Indonesia, freedom of speech is allowed, but freedom after speech is not guaranteed.
Now everybody's worried about a market crash. You know what's bigger than a market crash today? You know what scares me more than a market crash today? A reverse market crash. You know what's a reverse market crash? It's what happened in Venezuela this year. Imagine stock market goes from 10,000 to 64,000. What? Like right now we have interest rates at 8%, 8.25% some places, but let's just say 8%. and real estate prices are going up. It's the least amount of refi we've done in 27 years. Refi application is at the lowest for 27 years. And the amount of inventory of homes for sale right now is the lowest we've had in 20 years. But real estate prices are going up. How? So imagine if Powell today takes this 8% and he brings it down to 7, to 6, to 5, to 4. What happens? Market Dow goes to 60,000, 40,000, 50,000. Why? It's not because the economy is doing good, because we have that money in the market. It's going somewhere. So what happens? All of these people that we're talking about, wow, look at the rich getting richer, the poor getting poor. Your policies of printing more money is causing the rich to get richer and the poor to get poor, because the disparity is getting wider. If the rich are making 12% on their money and the poor are making 0 because they have it in checking accounts, what do you think is going to happen every year? That distance is going to get bigger and bigger. So what do we have this year in 2023? Most strikes we've ever had. You ever seen this many strikes in our lifetime? We're 3 years apart, you and I. I've never seen this many strikes. UAW strike, finally agreed, $42 an hour. You got UPS strike. You got Walgreens, CVS. You got Kaiser, 75,000. You got, there's so many strikes going on today. What are people saying? Dude, I can't make it. I can't make the money in your state, California. They raised the minimum wage for fast food restaurants to whatever the number is, $22. And you know what Chipotle and McDonald's just announced? They're raising prices. Why? Because they have to. How are they going to make that money? You can raise minimum wage all you want. The restaurant is going to raise the prices. They're going to have to raise the prices. So now, all these automakers that are sitting around saying, oh, you want us to pay these guys $42 an hour? No problem. Guess what? The consumer is going to have to pay $1,500 more for the car they buy. Is the consumer okay with that? Because that's how math works. Math works that way. So to me, at this phase of my life, if a person's 20 years old watching this, don't worry about what we talked about the last 20 minutes. Just go make your money. If a person's 30 years old watching this and they got a wife and kid and their career's like here, they're about to kind of go, focus on your career, pay a little bit attention to this. But if you're 40 plus, 45 plus, and you're seeing what's really going on in the economy, and you're like, what the hell are all these policies?
These corporations making the consumer pay for the increase, but the executives are making multi-million-dollar salaries. It's unreal.
We're wondering if scientists are actually working on those crazy sci-fi ideas. They are. Apparently, we might be one step closer to building a warp drive. Warp drives are science fiction devices that allow humans to travel faster than the speed of light, so that we could reach other planets within a few hours rather than millions of years. But one of the problems the human body has with going high speeds isn't the speed itself, but the acceleration to get to it. Like going from 0 to 60 on the highway. You can feel that push, but once you're at 60, you're fine. The idea behind a warp drive is that instead of moving through space and getting crushed by it, space moves around us in a warp bubble. The problem is when we talk about building one, things like negative mass and negative energy comes up, which has never been observed in real life. However, researchers at the Advanced Propulsion Laboratory have possibly found a way to build a warp drive that works within the known laws of physics, using what they call a constant velocity subliminal warp drive. And major science and tech magazines are calling this a breakthrough, which I think is interesting because every article I've read about it has not at all described how it really works. So I read the paper, and from what it sounds like, the key was adding vectors and modifying the shell. They suggest a shell made of normal matter instead of dark matter or whatever movies say, and then adding a bunch of shift vectors, all of which will amount to a lot of micromanaging of space that would require a ton of energy to initiate and maintain. AI. Regardless of the breakthrough, we currently do not have the technology to physically build this thing, but if we can model it, that would be pretty helpful. It's kind of like Howard Stark giving his son the blueprints to make a new element because he was limited by the technology of his time. If you're into this sort of thing, the paper is in my sources below. It is not a casual read, but for those of you interested, let me know what you think.
Forget warp drive. Get to work on the improbability drive. It defeats the purpose of a warp drive. What do you think?
Things I absolutely avoid as a cardiac surgeon. Number one, smoking. No question, the single worst thing you can do for your entire body. Destroys your lungs, causes lung cancer, high cardiovascular risks, heart attacks, and strokes. Don't smoke. Alcohol. Hate to break it to you, toxic. Toxic to every cell in your body. Your body, your rules, you decide for yourself. For me personally, removing alcohol from my life has probably been one of the most transformative decisions I've made as an adult.
Yep.
All the cool kids are doing it. Give it a shot. Soft drinks, liquid death. Just don't drink them. Period. Done. Number 4, avoid breads and pastas. Avoid the refined flours and wheats. 80% of weight control is diet. 20% is exercise. I guarantee you, you can out-eat any exercise that you do. So be conscious about what you're putting in your mouth. If you enjoyed this type of content, please check out our free newsletter. Click the link in the bio, and I hope you guys have a great day.
If you don't know, now you know.
Nobody's taking you away from me.
About that.
What's up, May? You sound like you've got something on your mind.
I kind of got a boyfriend.
Oh, really? Well, guess I wasn't enough for you, huh?
Well, no, it's not that. I had my reason, you know. Oh my god.
Oh, sure, May. Whatever you say.
There is no way. I'm telling you, I had to turn this off because I am speechless.
Maggie is cooked. Wow.
Here we go with part 2. Part 2. Here we go with part 2. Wheelchairs through the park.
This is madness.
Part 2. We got part 2. Yeah, part 2. Part 2. They put a gate up. They got gates up here.
How much cost do you think rent for an apartment on this street? Anyone know? Please drop a comment.
If you ever wondered what Shanghai looks like at nighttime, watch this video. I'm in Shanghai, China, on the Bund. My dad just said it. What'd you say, Daddy?
They've been lying to us about these people.
Ooh.
How they living.
You said how they living, Daddy?
They real good. Bro, I've been seeing Maybachs, whatever, Bentleys, Bentegas, Culligans. I seen it all. They got it right here. They got it right here.
They got it right here.
Hey, we gonna get it where they get it.
Okay.
Okay, we gonna get it too. For sure.
For sure.
Shanghai is so gorgeous. You guys, this is only one side of the Bund, and I love this. They always have like, I love Shanghai. On the other side of the Bund where it's super, super, super crowded, that's why we're not there. They have so many other buildings, but this is just a piece of it. New York City, who? No shade, no tea, but New York, who? All right, Tony's in here. Yeah. Oh, man. We about to be walking. And this guy, he got his big camera. Yeah, he's getting some good shots in. They stop now. They've got to stop doing that. Yeah, they're being real wild.
China been living in luxury. They lifted 800 million people out of poverty. You know, their government also created a middle class of around 400 million, which is larger than the entire U.S. population.
Chiropractor in Oklahoma has gone viral after making a few helpful adjustments for one very tall patient.
Yeah, Jerry the giraffe was having some pain in his jaw and upper neck earlier this week. His owner noticed he was struggling to chew his food, so they called in a specially licensed chiropractor. Well, the doc did his work on Jerry's head and neck, and it looks like it worked. Every time he made a new adjustment, you could see Jerry lean in as if he's saying, thank you. Look, he looks so happy, yeah.
I wonder if that's the first time he's adjusted a giraffe.
I was going to say, how do you become an expert in chiropractic giraffe work?
Right.
A lot of
How do you get into that field?
I don't know, but it probably starts at a zoo somewhere.
Yeah.
Fun facts. Giraffes have the same amount of vertebrae in their neck as humans.
They know about the lasers, bro.
They're all doing it.
They know lasers can't burn through blue.
Blue?
Get ready, Brian.
That's crazy, Ted. Why they all do it now?
You, bro. And I don't mean grass.
Or they make you believe it won't work on blue, then change something, and boom, all gone.
Tinfoil hat fact of the day. Did you know the #1 satanic holiday you can celebrate is your own birthday? Crazy stuff. Today's my birthday.
Happy
I
birthday.
will not be blowing out candles on a cake. Happy birthday song. No celebrations. So, if you're really about that life, you should probably do some research.
I never enjoyed celebrating my birthday. It's never set well with me, and I don't even know why. But let me know how you feel about this.
This is grapes. What are they putting on these grapes? Listen, there's a lot of stuff on your food that you have no idea about, and you can basically get these chemicals off by steaming them, soaking them in water with vinegar. There's other different methods, but grapes, ultra filled and covered with pesticides. Be very careful, be cognizant, find the least pesticide-ridden vegetables and fruits you can out there.
That is wild, folks.
Are absolutely screwed. Nah. What the So videos like this have been emerging over the last day, showing huge blackouts over the whole of the US, but it is way worse than that. So on the 22nd of February, yesterday, millions and millions of US citizens woke up to some very weird sights. Essentially, millions of phones completely cutting out. There were huge power outages, meaning people didn't have power and lights in various places in the US. But as I say, phone signals were completely cut out, showing a message just saying SOS at the top of the phone. Meaning people were going into quite a large amount of panic because it wouldn't even let people dial 911 or emergency numbers. Now, it's mainly reported saying that it was AT&T and T-Mobile which were greatly affected, but there are stats which have come out showing that most of the phone providers were down in some capacity. And even huge drops in things like TikTok and YouTube because basically power was down in so many areas in a subtle way. Meaning that millions and millions of people weren't even able to go on their phones. Now, why has this happened and what's going on? Well, apparently there was a solar storm in the middle of the night on the 21st, which could have caused this, which is a little bit scary because The Simpsons predicted a solar storm for this year. Well, so many people did. Essentially what this would do is cause power outages and mean, signals go down, which could be possible for what's happened here. Or people are saying this could be something scary, such as, everything that's happening in the world right now, hacks, cybersecurity threats, I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you were affected and hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
It's going to be okay, folks. There are still some villages here in Indonesia that don't have electricity. If stuff hit the fan, I'm just going to move with them and learn their way. Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and that's because he was handed a map by the Jewish people that had just been kicked out of Spain, and they got that map from their Phoenician ancestors. And that's next on the trumpet. The expulsion of the Jews from Spain, 1492. In 1492, the Jewish people had to go find a new world. They had a map that had been passed down for thousands of years from their Phoenician ancestors, the most fearless sailors in the world. The Jewish people that employed Christopher Columbus and gave him all of those maps to the New World, well, they used to be the Phoenicians. Let's take the map of time to 1100 BC before King David fought Goliath. I'm going to zoom into that part right there that says Phoenicia. In 1095 BC, the Phoenicians magically transitioned into the Jewish monarchy right there. The Phoenicians had already sailed all over the world and had mapped it out and knew all the navigational aids to get to the New World. Because there's plenty of signs around here that said they did that already. 2,500 years before Columbus sailed across the ocean, this is the Phoenicians and the Jewish people that hired him. This would have been the currency that they were trading on that dock I just showed you, and this is the head of Baal on the Tyrian coin. And the rich seaport of the Phoenicians, well, that was the city of Tyre. The round harbors on the island of Tyre where the Phoenician fleet docked, that's what some people say was the island of Atlantis. In an attempt to overtake the island, Alexander the Great put wooden pylons down until a sandbar was created and he could walk his army over and overtake the island. It turned it into a peninsula and all of the land built up around it, and I believe that's what happened to the island of Atlantis. This head on the Tyrian coin, that's Baal, and that's quite simply the devil. Book of Ezekiel talking about the king of Tyre right here. The word of the Lord came to the king of Tyre, and he had said, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man, and not God. Same chapter. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God, in the midst of the seas. That is in the midst of the sea. Somewhere right in here, they removed the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees, so you wouldn't have to put up with reading the truth. Click on my bio page right there, and then click on that link tree right there. And that's going to take you to all of my links. And you can click on the Book of Jubilees and download a free copy of that. Or you can click on the Book of Enoch and download a copy of that. If you click on my Amazon page right there, it'll take you to the map of time right there. The people that removed those books from the Bible, well, they're direct descendants from the people that built the Tower of Babel. And the Book of Revelation says, the synagogue of Satan. The Book of Enoch and the Book of Jubilees were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls after being sealed away for thousands of years. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
I believe in the blood of Jesus.
There is no death. Death is the comparable to sleeping, where life is being away. It's once you recognize those things, you see the eternal breathing in and breathing out of you in all things, each element breathing in and a positive thing. Like they say, there's a thing called negative charge. Electrons are this negative charge and protons are this positive charge. You crack heads, there's only, everything has a dual, as a corpuscle. Everything has both a positive and negative discharge. You cannot be negatively charged. Oxymoron itself. It's discharge. It's electricity when it's lost its ability to seek that higher pressure condition, and centrifugal force overtakes it. Magnetism springs it out away from it.
Who would have thought that Terrence Howard is the teacher we needed this whole time? God, what is true? We have souls.
This dystopian world is real, happening in the US, and every single person will now be tracked and surveilled by their employer 24/7 without an escape. Many people were terrified after an American company has pushed employers to use their tracking AI, which tracks every single employee's movements, actions, and thoughts down to the microsecond, showing when the employee gets distracted and isn't working. The AI is so advanced that when employees decide to get up, go to the bathroom, or just stretch their legs, their square turns red and a timer starts. That amount is then deducted from their salary down to every second that they're up. With this terrifying technology also being used for baristas, tracking how many cups the baristas have made during their shift and firing those who are not productive. With many people saying this is not only unethical but a huge violation of workers' rights. The technology was being created in late 2023, so it won't be long before it's out for employers to use. It's supposed to be used for things like tracking employees' safety, whether they're wearing hard hats or not. However, we will see if it will be used in that way.
Big Brother is always watching.
We are unique in the eyes of God. Now, there appears to be a beast that can talk. Is that God's work? Of course not. It's the devil's hand, and I quote, behold the pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and all followed him, for he was given power to kill.
Don't know what's real and what's not no more.
Pay attention and listen, because billionaires are pissed that GameStop and AMC are pumping. Look.
Another meme stock soaring along with GameStop is AMC. AMC is up 187% for the week to date, and of course it's only Tuesday. Joining us right now with more on this is Jay Clayton. He is former SEC chair and a CNBC contributor. And Jay, we've been kicking this around this morning. I got a whole lot of different takes on this. First of all, The short sellers didn't learn their lesson last time around. Second of all, retail investors are back with a vengeance, but you can't really call this investing either. These are massive swings. As a former SEC chair, what do you think when you look at all of this?
Well, it bothers me. It bothers me on many levels. I think your last guest got it right. It's a lot closer to gambling than it is to trading, and it's certainly not investing.
When he said it bothered him, that made me happy, because does it really bother you to watch retail traders make money over yourself? Does it bother you that much, buddy? Because as far as I know, you've been stealing money out of our pockets for a very, very long time. But once we dig in your pockets, there's a problem. You're willing to rob us in broad daylight, shut every exchange down, right? And force us to sell once we get in your pockets. But it's okay to go in our pockets. See how the industry is?
Stock losing. When they do it, it's called investing. But when we do it, it's called manipulation.
Is it on her?
If you have weight loss surgery, how are you going to lose weight?
Because I'm going to work to get the weight off. The surgery's not going to fix it.
Okay.
It's just a tool to do it.
By eating less, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you eat less, you lose weight, right?
Yes.
You're not losing weight, so you're not eating less, right?
I am.
Okay. The same question. Look at me again. You have weight loss surgery, you lose weight, right?
Yes.
Okay, because you eat less.
Yes.
If you eat less, you lose weight.
I'm not eating. I'm telling you.
And this is for Freddie.
It was.
So part of that makes
Freddie.
sense. Shanae.
Yes.
If you don't change, there is nothing we can do to help you.
She didn't eat anything. That was me.
Why the scale hasn't shown anything?
Shut up, Freddie.
It was fluid up. She can't help it. That's the one thing she's been stressing about is the fluid.
None of your tests show that you're retaining water, okay? You're not 700 pounds of water.
Every since.
Dr. Now does not play games.
Ways of being. Larry Fink is one of those young people. He enrolls in UCLA to pursue a political science degree, hoping one day to make an impact as a politician. After getting an MBA degree from UCLA, Fink takes a job at a leading investment bank, First Boston, as a bond trader. It was a perfect time to get into the bond business. In the early 70s, bonds only began to be actively traded. Larry Fink excels at this job. He rapidly rises through the ranks, becoming the youngest manager at his department.
I started at First Boston in 1976. I was the first Freddie Mac bond trader, and so the mortgage market was just at its infancy. And then in 1982, we had the ability to put a PC on our trading desk. Before that, you had no ability to put a computer on the trading desk. And it was very clear to me that if we could have computing power on the trading desk, we were going to have the ability to... Did you hear?
BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the three henchmen of the finance world. They own 80% of the S&P 500. I like to swing trade on S&P, by the way.
It is a story about the man from Detroit, Michigan, who found the alien coin inside of his pocket. So many people was in disbelief. They did not think it was real. And if it was real, you would think it came from thousands of years ago. No, 1937. 1937, that's not even 100 years ago. But this story go deeper. They was doing more research, and guess what they found? More aliens on money. So why would someone be making money with aliens on it in 1937 unless they're still here with us? So I did my own research, and what I found out is this whole system of banking, money, mortgages, real estate, it all came from the knowledge of these aliens. They taught the government how to control everyone on this planet because the government is under their control. Let's go a little deeper. So many people are waiting for these aliens to land, not realizing they never left. They never went nowhere. They're not in spacecrafts. They're walking around every day with us. The man from Detroit, Michigan, he found this coin in 2022. But I want you to look at this image. It's the same exact image that's on the $1 bill. These aliens never went nowhere. They are controlling everything behind the scenes. Not too long ago, the Vatican put out an article about aberrations. They said they are waiting for something to happen, something to come out of the sky, some kind of miracle, some kind of savior. They are waiting for something to return. The question is, what the hell is going to return? I don't think nothing's returning. I think they always been here. Same reason why the Vatican is always showing symbolism like this. The Vatican also have a statue of a pine cone, which is our pineal gland. They also had a pine cone on their staff, letting you know they control our reality. You ever notice Hollywood always doing demonic movies that's connected to the Catholic Church? Damn near all demonic movies or spiritual possessions is always happening inside of the Vatican or the Catholic Church. Don't be surprised if the Vatican come out and say, these are the gods everybody been worshiping for all these years, and they are back to take over their planet. Don't be surprised.
Aliens are demons. People are going to die of fear when this all starts to happen.
Why did the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilee not get put in the Bible? Well, that's a great question, and I can't wait to answer it for you. And that's next on The Trumpet. The secret is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Actually, Enoch and Jubilees weren't books, they were scrolls. That means they're really old. And the Dead Sea Scrolls were found sealed in a cave after 2,000 years in 1946. And one of the most prophetic books in the Bible is Daniel, chapter 12. And he said, "Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end." You see, the Dead Sea Scrolls, they're the oldest surviving manuscripts of the biblical canons. Literally sealed in a cave, just like the book of Daniel said they were. More copies of the book of Jubilees were found than the copies of the manuscripts for Psalms, Deuteronomy, Exodus, Genesis, in that descending order. Biblical canon, right there. Canonization was based on whether the material was written by the apostles or the close associates rather than claims of divine inspiration. And even though that said New Testament, the canonization process was used to determine all the books of the Bible right here in this council. They basically said which books could be trusted and which books could be distrusted. And the book they found the most copies of, it didn't make the cut. Remember, the canonization was all about who the author was? This is the first page of the book of Jubilees, and it says, when Moses met Yahweh on the mountain for 40 days, he said, "Incline your ear to every word that I shall speak, and write them in a book." And almost all of those books included more information about the fallen angels, which are the Watchers. And the Roman Catholic Church kept that all under lock and key until the Dead Sea Scrolls were opened up. Well, they were absolutely full of secrets. The answer to your question is right in the book of Jubilees, because it says that the devil asked for 1/10 of the fallen angels to be left behind so that they could wreak havoc on mankind, and it'd be just like them to pull those books right out of circulation. The book of Daniel says they'll be sealed up till the time of the end. They found them right after the end of the Second World War. That's at the same time the UN was formed, and it says that he will go out and gather the nations. So the United Nations base is on top of Mount Hermon. And the book of Enoch says that's where the fallen angels descended to earth. Like and follow The Trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
Awesome information. I'm learning something new every day. But it is to my understanding that the book of Enoch has been in the Ethiopian Bible all along. Let me know what you think about this.
That's exactly why they want to take this app away, because it's the most informational app on the planet, and they know. I just came across this video on TikTok. I'm scrolling on my For You page, and I come across this creator, and she's talking about water. So she posted a screenshot of like this website that she was on called Live Oasis. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. And basically, the website is telling you which water is like the best to the absolute. Y'all, these are the most bottom of the barrel waters, bro. Pure Gerber water. Yeah, the one that you're giving your baby. Yeah, it has a whole bunch of toxins in it, and it's horrible. It's actually 3 out of 100. It's rated 3 out of 100. Essential water. Yeah, Essentia. Yeah, horrible. I think it was a 4 or 2 or something out of 100. Yeah, Polish Spring was up there. Yeah. Fiji, horrible water. Dasani, horrible, but we all already knew that. All of those are rated horrible. They have horrible toxins in them that can actually cause cancer. And for me, I'm mad because I just went food shopping and I bought a whole bunch of waters. But I don't have a filter, so I went to the supermarket and I bought me a filter. So if y'all did just go food shopping like me, I got a whole bunch of waters, make sure y'all go buy y'all filters. I paid $25 for this one. So I'm going to just be filling it up with water, and this is going to clean it. This is one of the best waters, y'all. This is rated at, I think, a 94 out of 100. Great water. So go invest in some of these waters. And invest in these filters. If y'all gonna continue to buy those Pure Life and Poland Spring and Fiji and essentially at least invest in one of these. Keep yourself safe and cancer free.
Brita getting sued for not actually filtering anything.
My hair is starting to regrow after using copper and magnesium on a daily basis. The number one deficiency in the world is going to be a copper deficiency. The number two deficiency is a magnesium or a real organic sea salt deficiency. If we're deficient in the copper or the magnesiums, then our eyes, our hair, our skin, our immune health is going to suffer because the herbs will be for the healing of the nations, as well as the supplements that come from healthy, organic, grass-fed, halal cattle. Proverbs 27:27 says have enough goat, M-I-L-K, because that particular milk has the copper, at least trace amounts that your body needs, the magnesium, the potassium, the aminos, the proteins, the healthy fats. Remember, your brain is made mostly of fat. So when we fix that number two and number one deficiency in the world through using these biblical protocols, we're able to start to regrow the hair, and the stories that we've had are just kind of rather amazing. So follow for more, guys, and all this information, the detox guides, the salt guides, the fasting guides, all this stuff is in the Bible Health book as well. It's about 250 plus pages.
Buy a pure copper bottle and store water inside overnight and drink it at the following day. And there you have your copper.
Humans are meant to eat. As someone who lost 60 pounds of body fat and healed several chronic health issues through food. This meal is so simple yet so nutrient dense and contains literally all of the nutrients your body needs to thrive. This meal is going to make you feel good. It's not going to bloat you. It's not going to make you feel tired or groggy. Matter of fact, it's actually going to boost your energy. And consistently eating like this is not only going to heal your gut and clear your skin, but it's also going to curb sugar cravings and keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day so you don't get hungry every 2 to 3 hours. We're not meant to eat ultra-processed garbage full of seed oils, artificial dyes and preservatives, refined sugars, or grains. Those things are what make you feel like shit and suffer from acne, digestive issues, bloating, brain fog, and many other issues that are becoming way more prevalent in younger generations. It's unfortunate that most people will never take accountability and find anything to blame but themselves simply because they want to justify eating McDonald's and hot Cheetos and soda. But your body's the only place you have to live, so you better take care of it before it puts itself in a state where it can no longer function. If you want to learn more about how I healed through food, just comment a cow emoji and I'll send you all the info.
Not gonna lie, those eggs looks legit. Is this one serving or total in a day? There's gotta be the whole day, right?
Cleanse our kidney, and we want to cleanse our liver.
Yes, but it is better to do a kidney cleansing first, because when your kidneys are in good shape and you've increased your water consumption to help them along, then the liver cleanse, which gives you a gush of all this terribly foul and toxic material from the bile ducts, won't affect your body so much. See, what you pull out of the liver, this very toxic stuff, can spread into your bodies. You know, out come bacteria and viruses too. And if you have a good elimination system, especially the kidneys, then you never have a problem with it. You don't feel sick.
Now, the liver is the organ that really discharges the toxins and the poisons from our body. So therefore, if the liver is not working, we're in real serious trouble.
Yes.
Now, what are your steps? What do we use?
For the kidney cleanse, I picked about a half a dozen of herbs that are easily available. You can order them easily, that are known already back to antiquity to help the kidney. Some of them dissolve kidney stones, not all of them. And some of them relieve pain in the kidney.
Discharge liquids from your body.
Yes, and you're supposed to drink a lot with it, and you have, in a way, cleaned up your filtering system, which is your kidney. And you know, say for a car filter, once it's clogged, it doesn't work very well, and you have to get a new one.
Well, now you're real high on black-green walnut hulls. That's a herb.
Yes.
And in combination with two other herbs. What are they?
Cloves and wormwood.
Those three. Would you repeat them for me, please?
They're the green hull of the black walnut tree nut, and the cloves, just the same as you cook or bake with, and wormwood, which is an ancient anti-parasite treatment. Those three.
Now, I've done a lot of research, and it verifies that there is research, a body of research, as to the scientific usefulness of those three herbs. That doesn't mean that in combination they're going to do what you say, but there is some scientific history.
It kills parasites, nearly all the parasites that I ever tested for, which was around 80 or 90 different parasites it kills. It does not kill toxoplasma because it's intracellular. It does not kill candida because that gets to be intracellular.
For those who don't know,
too.
that's
Right.
Yeast overgrowth.
Right.
Women in
There are a
particular.
number of things it does not kill, but when it can kill nearly all of the common parasites that are, have a fleshy body to them.
Look up dandelion root, burdock root, yellow dock root, and sarsaparilla root.
It's 12:30 a.m. The birds have been going crazy for like the past month.
Have you noticed all animals are trying to tell us something?
Every time we go to sleep, every time we close our eyes, every time we shut the digestive system down, the body automatically goes into repair. So the more waste, the more toxins that are in the body, then the body needs more time to sleep. The less waste in the body, the less toxins you have to process, less time you need to sleep. If you want to live a longer life, or at least have more time to live, then keep your body clean. You won't have to go 8 hours into the body shop at night and fast to get the repair work done, because that is the reparation period. Sleeping is the reparation point. This is when the body breaks down the cells that it cannot utilize and build new cells. So when we wake up in the morning and we go into that break fast period, that's another 8-hour phase if we're living, a natural, in the moment life. So fasting 8 hours, that's your sleeping mode. Breaking the fast 8 hours, that's the elimination mode. And after that, we have another 8 hours to go for the day. So that's the intake mode. That's when we're putting in the fresh, raw building material to give the body something to work with when it goes back into that sleep mode at night. So, sleeping is fasting, it's healing, it's repairing, and it's rebuilding the body. And we can build a brand new body if we follow this system in its natural form and allow the body to just take over, eliminate, build new cells, and hey, there goes disease and all your other blues.
So taking care of you is your responsibility. I read those books and started practicing, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. And that's when I began to understand the importance of knowledge. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food.
It's true. I notice the less I eat, the better I feel. The first world is health, folks.
They could leave Earth, they wouldn't need bunkers. Don't you think? There are things that can make you go, what is this place? More than 25 years since the ISS, quote-unquote, entered orbit, and more than 100 eclipses on those 25 years. Yet not a single video of those eclipses was filmed from the ISS. The moon landing was an IQ test, and most people failed. The exploration of the moon stopped because it was impossible to continue the hoax without being ultimately discovered. Of course, they ran out of pre-filmed these episodes, no man has ever ascended higher than 300 miles, if that high, on above Earth's surface. No man has ever orbited or landed on or walked upon the moon in any publicly known space program. And if you doubt this, please explain how astronauts walks upon moon. Enclosed in a space suit, in full sunlight, absorbing a minimum 256 degrees of heat, surrounded by the vacuum. It is not from me. I didn't make this story. William Cooper says this. Search it.
You know why Chinese cars aren't sold in America? It's because they would dominate. This is the Yangwang U8. It's the luxury arm of BYD. You get LiDAR sensors here, more LiDAR up there. In the front, your main headlights are here, but at night this entire thing lights up, and it looks amazing. You get one electric motor on each wheel, and combined it makes 1,180 horsepower. And if you need to do a quick U-turn, watch this.
No way.
Yo, bro, these Chinese people be just
That
adding
is so
random shit
cool.
to their cars. So my charge port is here, and when I open it, this will tell me my charge level. But on this side, you put in gas. That powers your turbo 4-cylinder generator. This doesn't power the car, it just makes electricity for those motors. On a full charge and a full tank of gas, this can do over 600 miles. Inside, you get this panoramic roof that literally has shooting stars, and it can also do this. Ni hao, Yangwang.
What's that?
Kai Tian Trunk. Hey! You also get pillows in your headrest. My seats are heated, ventilated, and massaging. I get a passenger screen, ambient lighting underneath, more ambient lighting up here, and this curved display that works ultra fast. You also get a front and rear locker, 50-watt charging pads, a built-in cooler, storage space under here, and what's this? Smile.
Nah, no way. What a whip is this, fam?
That is great.
You also get this driver display with touch controls, this gorgeous steering wheel, tons of space in the back, a screen here, another one there, a third screen here, and another wireless charging pad. Not only are my back seats heated and ventilated, they can also massage me. Even my trunk.
Nah, bro, this car is like a Samsung, bro. And all these Benzes and shit are just like iPhones. Like, everyone just buys iPhones because everyone knows it and thinks it's the best. But if you go and actually check out the features, Samsung is better. And that's what this car is. Like, knows what car that is, bro. But tell me another car that's got these features, bro. This car is almost a transformer, bro.
Yup, this car is top notch. And I found another person who thinks like me. iPhone is luxury. Samsung is usefulness.
A lot of rich people who get into satanic culture, and I wonder what that is. I recently met some people who had taken like the satanic oath, the rituals and everything, and they said immediately when they did it, their life just skyrocketed. Like, they started getting everything, and it reminds me of Jesus getting tempted by the devil. You know, I can give you all the kingdoms of the earth, and then I believe Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this earth, or something along those lines. Evil's winning right now. You can become a very successful person cheating, stealing, all this stuff.
That explains it with most celebrities, because we know they didn't skyrocket based on their talent. And by the way, evil is not winning. They're lost when Jesus raised from the dead.
We got breaking exclusive news. Yeah. This is a company called Wing Inflatables. For the past 30 years, they've provided Navy SEALs and Coast Guard with vessels to help with, their work. So here's the thing. Apparently, they have been ordered by their government contractors to double their production. In 10 years, 10 years, workers are saying they've never seen this. They've never seen the CEO literally ask them for help because they don't know how they're going to be able to double production. And I don't think we need to be rocket appliance scientists to understand that, that means something's coming. On top of that, apparently there have been Taiwanese officials floating around their headquarters, their factory over the last week. So I'm just going to say it. China's going to go into Taiwan in a couple months here.
If you live in the US, let me hear your take on this.
Video is crazy. Watch it, then leave your thoughts in the comment section.
She started playing over us, right? There was this moment where everybody just started spitting up, throwing up. I'm gonna get deep with you real quick, okay? So it was like an exorcist type of moment, with everybody. And I walk into this situation where I'm like, hey, yo, what is really going on? She said, you need to forgive some people. And you need to say that person's name out loud. And I know what you're going through within court and all the things you're going through. But you need to forgive that person. And you need to say her name out loud. So I said, I've said my ex's name out loud and forgave her, and let go of that anger and forgave her, right? She said also, too, she has done some things as far as like putting a hex on you, these different things she has done, spiritual wise. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo,
you put the root on you?
I'm like, yo, what you talking about? Like, word, like, what? And she's like, yeah. She said, I want you to say blood of Jesus. I want you to start saying blood of Jesus, and I'm gonna pray over you. And she started to do that. Now I'm spitting up, and within that process, getting reconnected to the Lord in a very spiritual way in this moment. And what is happening within this process, demons start like literally speaking out their name. I'm saying their names out loud, but they're coming out of my body. So each one is saying who they are. So imagine I'm watching this as this is happening to me. And they're literally going, I'm such and such, and my body would contort and be something totally different as this is talking and I'm spitting out. And as this is going on and I'm saying all this, I'm like, yo. And they all come out. Finally, I'm tired after like an hour of warring within the spirit. And everyone's she's speaking in tongues and me warring within the spirit. And after that happens, then I get up and my face, bro, like my face was totally clear. Like I'm talking like clear. I went to the bathroom and I'm like, yo. And I just sat down and it was like I just had a craziest workout. And at that moment, no one could tell me that there's not a God. Wow. Because I understood that this is spiritual warfare that we're dealing with. Just like we pray, to the Lord, there's people that pray towards Satan as well. And that's just a real thing. And we got to understand that. And there's people that have generational curses within their family and all these different things. And we broke that on that night, which was beautiful. And we got to be careful who you lay down with. That's real process. You got to be careful who you lay down with. Because when you mix the spirits, that's what you do. When you're having sex with people, you're bonding within that. That's when people break up and they might break up with somebody, but that person could still have a hold on them. Tell them something, you get that phone call and that heart and the stuff like because they're connected is a soul tie. So you got to be able to get that off of you too. You might break up with somebody, but there can be soul ties. And you don't know what they're connected to as well. Anybody you've ever laid down with, I want you to say, take my spirit out of them, say their name, and then take their spirit out of you and say that. And so if anybody's listening, they need to really do that. Because the thing about it is that you take all that to different relationships and you take that wherever you go. You have a homie here, and you see the difference within them. It could be the spiritual connection that they have with someone that needs to be broken because it's a toxic, you know what I mean? And demonic within that way.
Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share. Later.
I'm glad he told his story. People need to know that God and deliverance is real.
Fire is 1,554 years old. It has been burning continuously since 470 AD and was moved to this particular temple in 1940. For Zoroastrians, the fire is a symbol of light and wisdom. Iran may be a predominantly Muslim country now, but long before that, Zoroastrianism was the dominant faith across the Persian Empire, the world's oldest monotheistic religion. The faith has three major pillars: think good, say good, and do good. Here in Yaz Ateshkade, the fire still burns. In fact,
the three wise men from Jesus' nativity story were Zoroastrian priests.
Next destination in space.
The next ultimate destination is
No,
Mars.
the next one.
Congressman, the next destination, as I said before, is the International Space Station. And
All
we've
right,
got to
let's
do that
not
one
be
more time.
trite then. What is the one after that?
It's Mars.
So there's nothing in between as far as you're concerned.
But there are intermediate stops
What are
on the
they?
way there.
What's the next one?
The moon is a destination. Lagrange points are destinations.
Which one is next?
You mean where do we go immediately next? Is that the question?
That's what next means.
Congressman, we are in the process of developing a program. I will have to be able to give you the details, and I will come back and make it for the record in the coming months.
So why are we even talking about how to get to the next destination? We don't even know what that is.
Congressman, we do know what it is. We know what
is it?
Congressman, we can go back and forth forever.
We seem to have to here. I'm looking for an answer.
Okay. The next destination in the Constellation program was the moon.
So you plan to get to Mars but lost the technology to revisit the moon? Come on, man. All right, folks. I'm going to end our video with this coming clip. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make better content. You can also buy me coffee or support me on Patreon if you like. The links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. Peace and God bless.
On fire. And you're going to say two things.
Okay.
Your wife, your mother-in-law, your dog, or $20 million.
Oh, so I will save 20 million. So the 20 million is my own.
Yes.
It's in the house and it's mine.
Yes.
So what am I doing in the house now if there's 20 million there?
That's not the question.
So assuming that I'm in the house and there's 20 million.
The question is,
is it mine or is it my wife's or my mom? Who does it belong to?
yours.
It's my own.
You will win that. Okay. You can only, okay.
I'll take my wife and mother-in-law.
Okay, so $20 million is gone. Okay. The $20 million is in your house.
It's in my house, okay.
So $20 million, and what is your second option?
So I will select, can I select it?
$20 million and...
So I will take the 20 million and then and then the $700 under my bed. So I'll take the 20 and my 700 because I can't leave the 700 to burn now.
What about your wife, your dog, or your mother-in-law?
My wife, with 20 million, you can have a wife in every jurisdiction. So every area code, you can have one everywhere. One in New York, one in Los Angeles, one in here, even in Atlanta. You can have one in like DeKalb County, in Fulton County, with 20 million I have. So practically speaking, when you think about it, what does it really make sense to abandon the 20 million and take the... But also, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe 20 million and my birth certificate, because it's hard. You know, it's hard to replace those things. It's very hard. Because when you want to replace, they tell you to come back today, come back tomorrow. So maybe the 20 million on my birth certificate, my passport. Because if you burn your passport, they will say, are you from this country? All those things. So I'm thinking the 20 million and my passport. No, I will just pocket it. You know, everything is happening. As I'm carrying the 20 million, I'm also taking the 7 million. So I can choose three. So I choose the 20 and my 700. Because do you know how many I drive Uber on the weekend for like 6 months straight to save that money. I can't let it burn. So I take the 20 and the 700, and then maybe between my birth certificate and my passport, and maybe my wife. It depends on the mood. Sometimes it just depends. But my mother-in-law can stay in the house. She says it's her house anyway. You know, I live with them. She says it's her house. So let her stay in the house. Now, why will I? So she can stay in the house. It's her house.